Welcome to another episode of the Wee Farm. Wee Farm time. Let's farm. Except we can't farm because we don't have one yet. We're in a process right now. We're looking at houses. But at this time, we're not necessarily looking at the house we're gonna get or necessarily want. We're looking at houses to decide what features we want to have in our Wee Farm. What are we looking for in a Wee Farm?
Everything.
Every single thing. No. So right now, we're not really, at least for me, I'm not looking at price. I'm just looking at available places and trying to figure out what exactly we need, what would be nice to have, and then what we would just straight out want.
Or not want.
Oh yeah, of course. There's the what we don't need, what we don't want. Yeah, that kind of, you know what I'm saying. And what better place to check these things than a website like Zillow. I like to also Google search like hobby farm. There's like hobby farm websites that have specific listings for what we're looking for, not just houses and stuff. So one need that I've already found that I want. I got my trusty notebook here that I've never used, and I have determined I'm gonna use it for writing down farm notes. I'm gonna call it the Wee Pad. I'm taking my Wee notes. I'm just taking notes here. This is for me personally. Stacy probably is gonna disagree with some of the things that I want to have and what I think we need. But I think it's good to maybe I take some notes, Stacy takes some notes, and then we compare them, kind of like we did with baby names.
I was gonna say that's how we named our child.
I think Braylee turned out to be a good name for Braylee. Number 1, 10 acres plus. Am I 100% sold on 10 acres plus? No. If something comes along that's right, that's less than 10 acres, I might consider it. But I'm primarily looking for more than 10 acres. Why? Because need big space for big dreams. 10 plus acres. Horse, for instance, needs a lot of space. What if we want to add goats? They need a little bit of land. Maybe we want to have some wooded area, trees to cut down for firewood. I don't know. Maybe we want to have a Christmas tree farm. Just kidding, we don't want to do that. I'd rather have a pumpkin patch. But either way, if we're gonna be here forever, I would personally love 10 plus acres because that would mean that we would not run out of space. I'd rather go with extra space than not enough space. And that's my thought on that. For those of you that have farms or have farmed or hobby farmed or whatever, or homestead, did you run out of space? That's what I'm scared. That's like a fear of mine, to run out of space and be like, man, we don't have enough room for this pumpkin patch. Stacy would like to know what your priorities are.
Like, what's most important to you that you wouldn't know unless you have started that kind of life? You know what I mean?
Number 2, not within city limits. For one, city limits means regulation. Some places don't even allow chickens. Number 3, at least 2,000 square feet, and it needs to be open. More open floor plan because Braylee's sensory equipment is getting a bit crowded in our small living rooms. She is only going to keep getting bigger. I would almost push that to 2,500 square feet, at least. I do want to mention, why am I being so picky? Because this is where we're probably looking for a place where we're gonna stay as a family, and most likely for Braylee too. I'm hoping for a forever home, and I'm also hoping for a second building, as in livable building, like another house. Small house, mother-in-law suite, what else would you call those? Whether it's built on later or we finding one would be better, just because you don't have to worry about any of that later. Chances are Braylee's gonna be with us for the rest of our lives, and we have to be prepared. And whether that's living in with us in the same house, ideally, if she is with us forever, we want to be able to give her as much independence as possible. And if she ends up going off on her own and we prepared completely for this, hey, she has a vacation place. Stacy would like to credit the Mosses. They pretty much gave us that idea for the future. They thought the same thing and are going forward with the same thing, and they're forever home. They're years ahead of us, and they have a lot more experience with autism. In the meantime, another reason to have that second building, Stacy's mom, my mother-in-law, is most likely moving in with us. Having the extra space would be better, giving everybody their own independent living areas. We are in Minnesota and we tend to be indoors more often than not in the winter, but with a farm. So talking about buildings, we also would like to have a stable for a horse. Stables. A stable is pretty high up there on the list because one of the first animals that we're going for is a horse. We want to make sure that we are set up for one. So stables and fenced acreage. Another building that we'd love to have, not necessarily need it right away. Indoor arena, at least fenced arena on the outside for those horse activities. So I already wrote down 5, and that was a lot. That's a good first session. What do you want on the farm? You want a horse?
Horse?
Yep. Or do you want chickens? What does the horse say? What does the chicken say?
Bug, bug.
What does the cat say?
Yeah.
Good job.
What does a horse say? What does a cow say? Good stuff. So this is one of the very first steps. I mean, we're still really early on in the process of finding our wee farm. And at the same time, I feel like we're farther along than we ever have been before. Just because we're getting closer to be able to actually financially handle the move into a farm. Yeah, we're getting close, and that'll be another video. Finances, how we are getting our finances straightened out to make sure we can get a house, our forever we farm house in property. Where do we plan on moving? We're staying within the state of Minnesota. Minnesota is the place we're staying. It's cold, it's snowy, but it's amazing. I have questions for you. I feel like I'm like stress videoing. I got marker or pin marks all over my hand. Talk to us about your dream properties or your forever home dreams and stuff like that. Or maybe you're already living in yours. Tell us about it. We would like to hear about it. Just a few years ago, I would have never saw this day where we're actually planning on buying a forever house, a farm in Minnesota. We never thought that would happen. So I would encourage you to think about what your forever home would look like, or your dream house, or whatever your goals are for where you want to end up. It's good to talk about them because then you can visualize how to get there. And I'm telling you, if we can do this, so can you. That's the cheesiest line.
It is so cheesy.
That's the cheesiest line. Hear it a ton, but it's so true. We're just an average American family. We struggled so much with finances to the point of eviction at times. We never thought we'd make it to this point ever. I will say it again, cheesy as it is, if we can do it, you can do it. All right, guys, have a wonderful day, and we will see you in the next video. What do you think? Do you think Stacy should do a video of her talking to you guys about what she wants and needs for our house? I think she should. Do it.